graduation. And I'd like to know something because I'm very curious, and I think it's very good for us here in Brazil to compare the universities abroad and the universities from here, private or public universities, things like that. So if you can, I'd like to know about accommodations, if you have accommodations at university. For example, when I went to university, Virginia Tech University, I had accommodations in the graduated building. So I would like to say something like that. If you have public transportation to go, what else? If you have around the university, are you safe there? Is there policemen around there? About the meals, if you have the meals into the university or not, things like that. What else? The traffic. How is the traffic? And if there is special positions for disability people too. Go ahead.
Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for being here. It's a pleasure being with you all here this night. It's not about a simple language, but it's about an exchange of experience, especially life experience. For me, is the most important thing in life, not the knowledge you add along your life, but the people you met during this period of tryings you submit along your life, for sure. So firstly, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Franco. I'm 35 years today, and almost about turning my 36th year. So it was a very grueling moment I went through. But before that, I'd like to say that the time I lived in Dublin was just a simple point that along my journey. So before we reach that point, I will just tell you all about a little bit of myself. So as I have just mentioned, I'm 35 years old. I'm bachelor in business administration and also marketing. But before that, I was born in Rondônia. Then I came to Sorocaba to study and have better condition. But by 7 or 8 years old, I had a very difficult time in my life. I lived in a very affluent suburb of Sorocaba, this city, and that time was extremely dangerous and important to my life because I could survive and have different experience of life with those people, poor people, I'd say. Um, I don't consider myself as a rich guy or a guy that had the most condition, the best condition. But comparing to a farmer boy that I used to be, to suburban boys living in communities like favelas, it's like still there is a very strong distance between those points. And by living 10 years in a suburb favela called Novo Mundo here in Sorocaba, in early 1995, a year after the World Cup. So was very important to me because I could see different value in people, not only valuing them by what they have, but what they think, what they have in mentality. So 10 years after, we moved to a different neighborhood, a nice people. Not the, I'm not saying that those ones I used to live together wasn't so good. The ones I met in a university, I say, but different way of living. That's the main point. So 10 years after, I started studying English, and was very important point to start my life, I'd say, because after that step forward, I could see life totally different. I could open doors that in my mind didn't have. So I couldn't imagine that could exist. So I studied so hard English for 7 years in Brazil, up to conversation levels. But I used to think that I was able to speak English because I was attending private classes and conversation class in Brazil, which was not the real situation. In early in early 2006, I decided to move to Dublin to study the real English, where I lived 4 years. So during these 4 years, I went through a very difficult situation, tiring situation, and to survive to survive that grueling moment, that that bad situation I had when I was 7, which was in Novo Mundo, the very dangerous neighborhood in the past time, was true, was the most important background to put me ahead and strong that never before in Dublin, to keep moving over there, to keep overcoming bad situations. Because when you say, oh, you could study abroad, so you have affordable life, you have money, for sure, you have a great family, definitely, I suppose, I can presume that. But in reality, it was not like that. You know, I had a father, and this father just abandoned me for since my mother got pregnant, and she was 18, and in 1984, I am from 1985, and my grandfather didn't accept the idea of having a daughter, my mother, with no husband and pregnant. So he didn't accept that. That's the reason why we came to Sorocaba, but I was born in Rondônia. So why I came to this point? Because my father, he in the view of the actual the society we have today, he has affordable life, so he has money, but my mother, she didn't. You know the difference. So my mother could support me, paying rents, living in an affluent suburb, actually in a very dangerous suburb, and she didn't ask him any money because he just disappeared. So knowing this situation, knowing my background, where I came from, I could see life totally different. From 14 years ahead, my way of thinking was completely ahead, forward, always chasing challenges, and adding some knowledge to my life. I used to sell goods on streets when I was 14, and 14, from 14 to 16. I used to support my grandfather here in Sorocaba to sell bananas on the streets. And that was the real school I had, because my background was public, so I can say not the good public schools, but the worst public school. And I wasn't encouraged to read books, to look for information and what I could do with that information. So I'm just emphasizing the situation I had. We can say like a coin. You have different sides, side B and side A. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So I went to Dublin with 300 euros, 300 euros to stay 6 months, But I had I had in my mind, I paid for 6 months, a 6 months course, and only 4 weeks in a host family with 300 reais, 300 euros actually. I had to, after this four weeks paid as host family, I had to look for share apartment, or even a house with my flatmates, the guys I met when I arrived in Dublin after enrolling in school. And I had to sleep on the streets for a couple of nights. I didn't have even money to stay in a simple hostel. So imagine if I had better than that, if I had good life in Brazil, if I could get or as a gift from my father a car when I turned my 18, as the standard family used to do, for sure I had come back to Brazil. The first bad situation, the first barriers I could face, but I did not, So I slept on the street, and I'm proud of it to share with you all guys. And I stayed there for 6 months. The course, the normal course, the regular course, I bought. The first mission I can say, but six weeks later, after arriving, after the experience of knowing myself in a different country, different language, far away from my family, nobody to count, to give me some money, to support me. I was informed by a friend that the guy on the corridor was the owner of the school. Knowing that, the Brazilian way, we know, I introduced myself to the man. His name is Dennis. I still have his contact and he's the real father I didn't have in life. And listen, Mr. Dennis, I'm Franco. The difference I had in Brazil is just because I studied so hard grammar, and I could express myself. I could
Just a minute.
express myself, but I didn't have, I couldn't understand them, pretty well because my listening was poor. It's natural. But I could express myself. That's the most important point. Mr. Dennis, I'm Franco. I came up here in order to learn English. That's my dream. But I'm running out of money. I have no job, so I have to go back to Brazil. I cannot stay here no longer. Is there any possibility to help me with something? I can even clean your bathrooms, or I can clean the corridor, the school, whatever. He'll just look at me uh, like almost crying, because for European people, situation like the one I had just shared with him, he probably just on books, just things imaginable. Yes, Franco, I can help you. I will support you for sure. So, Mr. Dennis, what I can do for you? What kind of job can I provide you? I don't know yet, but tomorrow morning, bring your documents here and I will hire you for sure. I like your story.
Wow.
You are a very good guy.
That's
So from that day, I consider my day one, because I worked for this man for 3 years. I started picking up a student at the airport with their name. Hey, Mr. Franco from Korea, from Brazil. I used to pick up them, take them to the embassy, showing them the documentations required to be legal in the country. So introduce them. I used to introduce the host family and the whole process. After that, he gave me 2 years of 1 year marketing and 1 year business administration. Yeah, and today it's considered here in Brazil, the company where I worked once I came back to Brazil was a case, the agriculture. It's a company held by the Fiat Group, and now in Brazil, those degrees I got in Dublin is considered as an extra degree, because it's not considered as the real the main degree in Brazil. But I graduate as before the beginning of our conversation. I'm bachelor in business administration, but in Zanki here in Sorocaba. But in Dublin, I had this experience. I couldn't study marketing. I couldn't study business administration. I could overcome a very bad situation, unexpected situation, is sleeping on streets, and I could overcome that. Having money, having a little bit of more information, studying marketing and things like that, I could have a better position in the company that I used to work for him. And my life just gave a big jump. I could travel around travel to many places in Europe, and I could get know a lot of different people. So those people brought me new ideas, new truths that I used to have. So I just rebuilt new life to my mind. So by saying that, is there any question we can, chat? It's just an introduction.
okay. It was so nice to listen to a little about your story, and it's a story that when you told everything, I could imagine everything as a movie on my mind, and it was
great. Thank
very
you so
difficult.
much. That's
It was
great.
very difficult. I'm sure of it, and I congratulate you. I congratulate you, and it was so nice because you got an investor father there, in the university, in the company.
Yes.
So it was a good opportunity, and that's why I used to say that we have good people in the world, and we have to believe in it. So I'm going to have a free time to everybody here. Does everybody have some question, please? Even on chat, please.
So it's frozen. Can you listen? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah. So okay, I came back to the point. While living in Europe, the topic that brought you all to this life is it's a little bit different actually, because I didn't study digital marketing in Dublin. You know, I cannot listen to you, Fabiana.
Yeah, I will call her, but if you can continue, bro.
Okay, great. But she's still speaking.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but he
But
don't.
I can
Your
hear
audio
her.
don't. Yes, your audio don't work now. But I will tell her 1 minute.
Okay.
But if you continue your history, bro.
Okay.
Please
So
do it.
okay. I was telling you guys that I didn't study digital marketing in Dublin. The experience that I had over there, it's more related to business administration and marketing as the primary course. But when I came back to Brazil, I worked for 4 years for Fiat Group into the marketing department, more specific for a business strategy. Was a very good point of my life too. I'm pretty sure about that. But after 4 years working for them, I decided to open my own business, and I got all the money provided and invest for my new company. 3 years later, I went to bankrupt, and that was a very, very, very difficult situation I went through, and I had no money left. I still have an apartment to pay. You know, it's a long-term investment. So I need money every month. You know, I live by myself since I was 17, 18, turning to 18. And since then, I need money every month, as everybody else, but especially for a guy living by yourself, especially having an apartment to pay. So I was broken completely. And during that situation, I was introduced to business, to digital marketing, and I start studying by myself, consuming free contents, from YouTube and different platforms of digital marketing. I had the opportunity to throw a dental event here in Sorocaba. It's a really nice dental congress, and me and a guy, my friend, who's now my partner in this new business, Eno Lipi, we together we could organize a dental congress very well. And 2018, 2019, and doing after those great portfolio, doctors, dentists, they were looking for us, for our support, for our service. So I start doing completely different thing in my life after my bankruptcy. And digital marketing came up to my life not as a choice, but as an answer from the universe. Hey, guy, you have suffered so much. This is the way now for you. Digital marketing is the thing that you can change your table. It's the timetable. I'd say, my day one, my day two, the Thursday one was the conversation I had with Mr. Dennis, but the day two, I can say it was when I set up my digital marketing agency, which now it's great, it's getting great day by day, especially after this pandemic, coronavirus. And I can say, you all guys, I'm living now what I was dreaming long years in the past, So it's just the beginning. I know that I need to be humble about this situation, especially after having the great bitter of having no money, of the store. I used to run a company that we used to sell shoes, clothes, and things like that, products. Now I work on the other side of the table, and which is selling service, selling knowledge, selling strategy, selling not only selling, actually. I have now proposal. I support entrepreneurs, doesn't matter the size, but the most important thing is what they want for their business, not, oh, I want just to get some profit from that, because now I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about proposal of life, and by changing this mentality in my mind, money start looking for me, I'm humble to say that. I'm not selfish, I'm just telling you that once you learn a language, once you start involving, connecting with different people, different mentality, you grow.
Yes, I agree with you.
And once your mind change, it never come back to be the same. Einstein used to say that quote. So what I'm telling you, having this experience in Dublin, having this experience in Brazil, working for a Fiat Group, having a bad business, now prospering with a new business, new way of communicating with the new society. It's a very difficult um, I can't explain properly this difference from point A from point B, you know, and what we can be next. You know, we never know what's around the corner. So every time is a struggle. You know, we need to struggle, but in the best way. Having proposal, not working for money. Who works for money will never prosper, because prosperity is not based on material and money, but it's based on the connection, the level of connections you have, the level of the people you are involved, you spend the most of your time, you know. And I can say that I can also share another paragraph in the middle of this story. I could also study also study business in Santiago, in Chile, and by knowing English, I could express and have different contact with foreign student living in Santiago. The guy I met called James. This guy. He's now 16 years old, and he's just the director of the most important sustainable event in the world. He works for World Climate Change. So he's from London. He was born in London, and we could speak. You know, I could ask him, and I could feel deep inside of his heart who's the guy I was talking to. You know, and the same for him. He could understand my feelings, my fears, my reality, my dreams, you know. So this exchange was stronger, the strongest contact I ever had, I can say. And 3 years later, he called me, and the beginning of the last year, he called me. Hey, Frank, listen, I'm looking for someone to support us in Brazil, to represent Brazil. And this guy could be you. You very good communication. You are a very good guy. I like you so much. You have proposal. I like you so much. You know that. Yes, Mr. James, I know that. So what kind of job? I couldn't have this conversation with you the time we were studying in Santiago, but I'm director of a very big company, and I need someone to be in charge of contacting CEOs of great companies in Brazil to show them the possibility to sponsor our event, which is held in different countries every year. At that time was in Santiago. This year, which was canceled, but it was it would be actually in Glasgow, Scotland. And anyway, he hired me for that position, and I could work for them for 2 years. And just because when I was 14, I decided to study English. Just because I slept on the street in Dublin, and I was so strong in my mind, living in suburbs, you know, knowing people that used to kill each other normally in a affluent suburb like Novo Mundo, very dangerous neighborhood in the 90s. So I survived, you know. So any troubles, any barriers, it wouldn't be so dangerous the one I went through when I was young. I could survive that situation, and now I can say the guy I met in Santiago that hired me, and for you guys, I have two gigs, I'd say. Instagram is something that my personal Instagram, I used to post art that I am a painter. I paint some paintings, you know. But if you go to my LinkedIn profile, you'd see a guy in charge of sustainable projects representing Brazil in the middle of this great network. It's just because the choice we have, you know. So English is very important for you guys that now attending this live. And the advice I can tell you, I'm not speaking as good as I used to when I was living in Dublin. That was from 2005 up to 2009. It's 10 years ago, I'd say. So my English is getting rusty, enferrujando.
Yes.
But
That's
I can
normal. That's
express
normal.
myself, you know. I can express myself. I can express my
Yeah,
thoughts
that's the most
without
important.
translating my mind, you know, without translating my mind, the most important thing. And also I can understand foreigner people, whatever level, doesn't matter the level of the conversation. I can understand that pretty well, and that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter if I have to speak it fast. Forget about it. Just bear in express your idea, because every day you are selling ideas. If you cannot communicate with different people, with different nationalities, you're not able to live a distant life, and especially academic life, you know, because the world is connected, but people are not connected because the lack of information. That's
Yes.
the only thing.
I used to say to my former students that English is a path to the success. I have all the opportunities in my life because I have studied English. Well, to have opportunity to all the people here, to more people here, practice a little bit the language. I'm going to give you a free time, because I think there are some people that want to ask something.
Yes.
Leticia is here right now. Leticia is from London, and she helps us right now. Please go ahead. Do you have some question? Do you have any question, please?
Me or Gabriel?
Leticia, Gabriel, whoever. Gabriela.
Well,
Don't be
hi.
ashamed.
This is the first time that I'm here in this kind of talks. I don't know if I have a good pronounce because I only speak with Americans or from the States. And you have a really different pronounce when you are speaking English, but I can understand something, and sometimes I cannot understand because you pronounce different at the end. But yeah, I was listening the history of Franco, and it was amazing. And I don't know, I am not really totally interested in marketing because I'm dentist. But I heard that you say something about you were working with doctors in dentists, and I was like, oh my god, I wasn't wearing that. And I don't know, I'm just listening, and I'm here, listen, and practicing with you guys. And that's it.
Thank you very much for your information. I like so much, and you're very good at. You've got very good accent. I like it. Yes, sure. It's really nice one.
Thank you.
Leticia, do you have any question?
I will try. I knew Franco in 80 years ago. I don't know Franco. It's interesting because Franco, every time it's I don't know if they pronounce it, but a dreaming boy. Is is like so much to imagining your dreams in your propose, but I don't know, Franco. You need to lift some things in your dreams for building your when you where you who you are now. When you told you break your store, I remember that because I'm follow you, and what's changing in your life after you broke, because digital marketing no no it is not your was not your first way. You try to building one store after you try to setting some kind of things stuffs in your website, but digital marketing is not your first way. What really you what you make you to go in this way? I don't know if you understand me.
Yes, that's the magic of English, you know. I can sum up.
And Franco, Franco was my first teacher. He tried to teach me, but I need to go in other country for understand the importance of the language.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Listen, English, the magic of English, it's just to sum up, that is the conversation we had now, because even not being fluently, you could express in a very good idea, and you could translate a little bit of myself a couple of years ago. And yes, I could understand your idea, your thought, and the most important point to divide Franco A and Franco B, what I am now, is just the time that things has to happen, you know, because after my bankruptcy, when I broke up, not broke up, it's more for a relationship, but I went to bankruptcy, was a very, I can say, a hurricane of happenings in my mind, because I didn't want to mention that, but at the same time, a month before, my young brother, he passed away. He was 22 years old. He was run over by a truck in front of Fazenda Imperial, here, not very far from Sorocaba city center. It's like, I don't know, 20 minutes driving. And the truck driver didn't help him, didn't give him any support. He just escaped, you know, and my brother, he passed away. And a month later, I was stolen, and bad things happen at the same time. That's why I consider a hurricane of happenings, furacão de acontecimentos, a hurricane of happenings. From this time, where I can say I went to the deepest level of the hole, I could see inside my soul what I really want for life, what kind of guy, what kind of history, what kind of book I'd like to write, what kind of heritage I would leave for future generation, for my family, for maybe my son, you know. And I could analyze the very big hole of mistakes I made throughout those happenings, and I had a very difficult conversation with myself for at least a month. I used to be very Catholic guy. I was a minister at the Catholic Church, and but after before my travel to Europe, I was the kind of this guy. You know, that's why I also at the beginning I was mentioning about proposal. You know, what kind of proposal we have for life. And but when I came back from Europe, I could see things different. I had the experience in Casey, at Case Agriculture, and my company and myself. Because before was to study English, then to get to know different countries, get to know different people, have my own business, work for an international company. But can you understand that? Nothing for me. Nothing for me. After the death of my brother, I lost two brothers, one with 25 years old and the other one with 22 years old. After losing two brothers, I could see life differently. You know, the mistake I used to make, I learned from them. You know, and now I consider myself prepared to success. Just because not based on the terrible things that happened in my life, but the key I turned into my head. That's the main point I can tell you. Can you hear me?
Nice, bro. Thank you a lot. I'm listening very well too. Someone have a question for Franco, and it's interesting because it's I'm live some parts of this history you told for us, and I remember each part of when you start your store, when you start to change your store your for what you're like, when you needed to get out your store, and we will start other company, and you try to develop other things, and now you have one company, you have this company involve digital marketing, but you are now you start to show your, I believe, your best skill. It's your art. Your Frank is have artistic skills, and he paints some pictures. Pictures? No, I don't know.
Paintings.
Yes, yes. Please tell for us this skill you not discover, but you every yes, yes. It's a beautiful.
Yes, so it's a funny it's a funny part of my life. But after breaking up my relationship, after ending my relationship, to be precise, before that, I used to paint small things, like in you, something like small things, But after my relationship, I start painting different and big paintings, and I discover another Franco in myself, and now I'm emerging into this new world, and I'm preparing exhibition of my paintings, which is gonna be around 10 or 11 paintings. And this is the beautiful frame. This is the new one I'm starting. It's a women, naked women, and it's a different part of me, from business to art. And as you know, I am writing a book too about relationship and passion. And you're laughing, but I'm about to finish my book. And I used to play guitar, classic guitar, write some music, some songs. But this bunch of knows skills, it's not because I am a different person in the world, but just because I'm listening to me frequently more often than before, and nowadays people are doing things, it's they can listen to other people, than to themselves. That's the most important point to be emphasized here. So after I decide to listen to me, I am becoming a different person for them, and especially for me. And things are happening in my life just because I align these parts in my life. That's the advice I can share with you guys. I used to work for an international company for, as I mentioned, for years, and there I could see people working every fucking month to pay a car, living with their father, just to say they are just to impress people, you know, as playboys or whatever it can be, whatever it might be, but not listen to themselves, you know, because even for them, it's not easy to support all every day, you know, a person that you not, it doesn't belong to you. So now I'm listening to myself. That's why I'm painting. That's why I'm writing. That's why my company is going well, because it's related to the way you are vibrating, you know, the quantic energy. That's the thing I'm trying to tell you guys. It's I'm studying Kabbalah. I don't know if you ever heard about that. It's Kabbalah. It's a really nice content to be aligned with life, you know, the cosmos and the light, you know, the purpose of living. And after knowing some paragraphs, you can see life differently, you know. And I'm writing a book for, listen to that, it's very important, it's very good. I'm writing a book for passion, special relationship, related the end of my relationship and things like that, blah, blah, blah. So, a friend of mine came to me and, hey, Franco, it's so difficult to find a boyfriend. Eu falei, sorry. So I said, yes, it's quite difficult. You know what? Yeah, you might have the answer because you're writing a book about relationship and things like that. Yeah, no, listen. You know what? You are looking for them. Have you ever tried to be more important? You know, like add more wisdom to yourself, become a special person before looking for someone else? No. Yes, try to do it, because once you get it done, your life will change completely, because nice people look for you, not you're looking for nice people that you think are nice, but in the end, it's the same people I used to work with in the time I was working for Fiat Group, people living with their family and possessing cars that they can afford. Life is like that. Kabbalah. You know, so I'm not talking about digital marketing and not art, but Kabbalah. Nice. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Any question?
Well, unfortunately, I lost a little bit because my cell phone wasn't working. The sound disappeared here suddenly. I didn't listen to you, but I think, what time is it right now? How much time do we have, Miranda, please?
10 minutes, I believe that.
10 minutes?
Yes.
So I think now
The next question.
You could speak a little bit more about the other countries you have already visited.
Is there any question specifically, something like that, or just randomic way?
What was your favorite country to have fun, for example?
Well, the country I like the most in Europe it's notable. It's Luxembourg. It's a really nice country. Actually, after Dublin, after Ireland, which is incredible. Very good people, educated people. But Luxembourg, it's amazing. I can advise. I can help you all with some tips, you know, for this trip. It's amazing. It's a nice country. It's a posh country, actually, rich country. It's like Switzerland, you know, a lot of banks and different transactions. But the food it's beautiful. It's superb. The sauce, they have their own sauce. It's amazing. The wine, sometimes you are dinner, you can dinner and get for free a bottle of a great wine, you know. So it's a really nice place to be, especially with someone else. Doesn't matter if a woman or a man, it's your choice. But it's a really romantic place. It's a really nice and romantic place, Luxembourg. And for Paris to party, it's London and Amsterdam. I had the experience to visit the country a couple of times, especially in the New Year's Eve, 2006 to 2007 was amazing, because imagine a guy being minister of the Catholic Church for a long time, and a year after is celebrating in the middle of the Dam Square, the main square in Amsterdam, in the New Year's Eve, a lot of crazy people, wasted people, stoned people. No.
Do they use fireworks there?
Sorry, say that again.
Do they use fireworks there, the New Year's Eve?
Not many as we can see in Copacabana, things like the glamorous party and cities. But Brazilians and people from the Aussie, those in Australia, they like so much fireworks. But in Amsterdam, wasn't so strong. The most celebrated part for them is the Dam Square, the main square. It's where is located Madame Tussauds, close to Van Gogh Museum. It's
Have you ever
it's
been
really
there?
nice.
Have you ever been in Van Gogh Museum, because you are a painter, right?
Yes, twice actually. In
Nice.
Amsterdam,
We need to go there. I have already been there.
Oh, really?
Too. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Did you go to any French museum?
Yeah, sure, for sure. I could read her book and diary, actually, not book.
Yes,
and
yes.
I could visit as well. So it's amazing. It's incredible.
Yes,
Imagining
a great
the situation.
experience.
Yes, exactly. It's
Did you
amazing.
go around did you go on boat on the lake?
No, I didn't have this experience, but I could do anything, different things. So how
Really
many?
nice.
So far, how long was your trip?
I went to 4 countries in 15, almost 15 days. I think around 14 or 15 days. I just spent 2 days in Amsterdam. I spent 4 days in London and 2 days in Belgium, and 3 days in Germany.
Oh,
and I went to Italy too, and I have already been in United States.
Oh, that's
Leticia
great.
has a question. Go ahead, Leticia.
Hello, Franco. So I think I read somewhere that you've been to over 15 countries, and you're telling us about your favorites now. So I just wanted to ask you, which country is the one that is the most different that you have ever visited, like culturally wise? Where you had the biggest cultural shock?
Thank you for asking. I can say Ireland. in Ireland, I could learn a little bit of Gaelic, which is the first language. We have two I know as three different Gaelic, which is Scotland, Scottish, Irish, and Gaelic. So for I mean, in terms of cultural and things like that, in terms of people, they are quite similar Brazilian ones. Close, strong, they have very good hospitality, they can help you like a Brazilian, but they have different way of facing life, you know. They are more educated, and their language, it's amazing. For instance, I can have a small chat with you. You can understand a little bit, but it's not understandable, I can say. It's como você está? How are you? Konasa tatu. Eu estou bem, estou muito bem, obrigado. Tomiguma, I'm fine, thanks. And you? Tomiguma, Augusto Fen. Tomi agdoa wolha anish. Tomi agdoa wolha anish. Let's get out of here.
Language?
It's like, let's get out of here, my friend. It's over. Let's get out of here. It's Tomik doa wolha. My friend, it's Mokara. Tomik doa wolha, Mokara. So things like that, it's amazing. It was amazing. Because why I learned a little bit of Irish? Because we used to have meetings in the college, and with all employees, and they used to have meetings. Some part of the meeting was in Gaelic, in Irish. So what the hell? What they're talking about? And then I asked for a guy. I can teach you a little bit. So I could start learning different some sentence, some words, then a little bit of grammar, their grammar. And at the beginning, I said that I start working as to pick up a student at the airport, and I could practice my Gaelic with the taxi driver every time I used to pick up students at the airport. So it was amazing. So in terms of culture, just to answer your question, it's Ireland for sure. It's Ireland. Everywhere you go,
nice.
You can see castles. Just to give you only one amazing information, I've been to the most, I think, is the most important pub in Ireland. I can't remember actually, but it's dated. It's a 14 years. Yes. So we can say they are 400 years ahead drinking beers, and Brazil, it was just a forest, you know.
Yes, of course.
It's
and
a great
with
culture,
that,
great
I have
culture.
to ask you of your opinion on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, great. St. Patrick's Day, I worked as volunteer for the wheelchair association, Irish Wheelchair Association. So I worked as a volunteer for 3 years, actually. It's St. Patrick's Day.
You were a shirt.
St. Patrick's Day is our carnival. It is the most important event in Europe. In Europe, it's not Ireland. In Europe, you know. This time, every country land in Dublin. It's amazing, amazing. And they have like a carnival, people dancing with some chapters and assembled dolls, things like that. So it's amazing, amazing.
That's great. Thank you. And what did you think? Did you feel any comparison to the Brazilian carnival? Was it better? Is it worse? What do you think?
Firstly, the weather. It's for us, the summer for Irish people is at maximum 24 degrees. So in Brazilian Carnival, it's pretty hot. In terms of dressing, they are quite more, how can I say that? They don't like to be
conservative
themselves, so much as Brazilian, especially Brazilian. Just a second, someone else trying to call me. For the women is considered as naked women. Every woman for European is, oh, you used to dress yourself in short clothes and things like hot clothes, sexy clothes, and for men, football, very good football player, and but the comparison for St. Patrick's Day and Carnival, it's more related to the education, the background they have, not only the size of the event, because both are quite relevant to its country, especially for Europe and Oktoberfest as well in Germany. So these two events, it's considered globally, like for the whole Europe.
Amazing, thank you.
Juliana has a question. Would you like to ask, Ju? Please.
Yes. Hello, Franco. Okay. Thanks to share your knowledge with us.
It's not all knowledge, and and believe it's not easy. I'm shy, I'm quite embarrassed.
Okay. Franco, what was the biggest challenge in the digital marketing?
That's great, very good, great question. Listen, we have two different scenarios. The first one was before coronavirus, and the new scenario is after coronavirus. Before coronavirus, we used to have different conversation with our prospects than clients. It was difficult to talk about digital marketing, especially for old people. You have to invest at least 3,000 reais monthly, and I can show you some results, some figures, some spreadsheets that can prove your investment could be better than outdoor, than the classic old market. So now it's easier than before, because even for old people, I mean old entrepreneurs, they don't know exactly what digital marketing means, but they need. So the table just turned. We used to look for clients and prospect, but now we stop our campaigns, and now people are looking for us because they need this kind of work, this kind of service. So the difference, I mean, for the biggest challenge in my market now is more related to express to people that they have to stop thinking selling their service, selling their products. What they have to bear in mind is to share information and create great contents. Then people will buy you, then people will look for your service, you know. So the table turned completely. A couple of years ago, we used to sell products, you know. Now we don't need to sell products. We are not. It's not acceptable to sell products. You need to share and create good content for free, you know. That's the new relationship.
Yes, nowadays it's more easy. It's easier.
It's easier, yeah, sure.
Because of the coronavirus. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
It's opportunity to grow the companies in these areas.
Even for a small business to big business, you know. The key word for digital marketing is the verb called scale. If you have a business and you can scale up, it's a really nice business plan. It's a really nice business to invest, you know. If you don't have this word possible to be into your business, you cannot invest so much money on that, because business that doesn't have don't have scale up, they need to rethink their model of entrepreneur.
That's
I can't hear you properly.
Yes, that's okay.
Is there any more question? Fabiana, I can't hear you, sorry.
Yes.
Oh my God, I forget all the time.
Yeah, I thought it was
Funny. Sorry. It's my face. Juliana, I got very happy because you were brave and you spoke a little bit, so that's great. I'm happy when somebody speaks at the first time, you know, because it's a challenge for everybody. So we are here facing a challenge together. That's wonderful.
And especially, I want to tell you guys, it's been a long time. I used to have conversation every day with flatmates and the city where I used to live, and it's been 10 years, but I am not so fast than I used to be. I don't have that many vocabulary that I used to possess, but I can express myself. We can exchange ideas, and in life, we are not to judge people for the level of English, of knowledge, or whatever it might be in the world, but we need to help each other. You know, we need to help each other. That's the most important thing. If I have that in my heart, for sure, you'll be more suitable to speak with me. You know, to share your thoughts, your ideas, and just to finish to finish my discussion is we fight with ourselves, you know, every time, you know, we fear our fears. That's the most the biggest bear we have in our mind belongs to us. It's inside us, because people won't judge you, especially foreigner people. They will help you to speak, to listen to you. Hey, I'm not good at English. Can you speak slowly? Can you speak slower? And things like that. you know. So I'm here, whatever you want to invite me, whenever you want to invite me, I'll be here to have a chat with you all, and we can even set a specific topic, you know,
I have an invitation for you. We have a group on WhatsApp, so you can share your cell phone number, please, with Miranda.
Yeah, sure.
And
sure.
you can be part of our group. There we share some content.
That's
and
great.
It's very nice. We have a talk every day there, and our group is growing a lot, and it's so, how can I say, but it's so I can enjoy a lot this amazing exchange of experience, and I think sometimes we need to be listened to.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
It was pretty nice. Thank
For
you
sure.
very much for share your life with us. We don't know you, but we didn't know you before, and you told all your life for us. So it is amazing.
Yes. Just it flows, you know. It was amazing. Thank you so much. Wasn't so easy, you know. My first experience sharing ideas among so many people, but it was. I mean, it was incredible experience. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
bro.
night, guys. Thank you so much to share this moment with us here, and have great dreams. Rest a lot. Bye bye.
And Leticia, let me say, Leticia, your accent is amazing. Like it so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. 14 years in London.
That's great. Like it.
Bye bye.
Miranda,
Thank you so
thank you
much.
very much
Bye.
for inviting me.
Thank you,
Thank you.
bro.